We were looking to escape the heat of Europe in June. That's how we ended up here in Porto, the humble counterpart to cosmopolitan Lisbon, shielded by the cool breeze of the sea, the Atlantic specifically, a body of water that once led the Portuguese to change the world forever, and one that still shapes the character of the city to this day. The streets here speak loudly of the opulence of times past, but today's Porto is down to earth. It doesn't turn its nose up at you. And here, you can truly experience the old world with the new.
We are in Ribeira, which is the historical center of Porto and the touristic heart of the city. We are currently at the waterfront. This is the Douro River, which runs through the city. So Porto is over here, and then across the way is its twin city, Gaia. And these two sides are connected by 6 bridges, and the one behind me is the most famous. This is called the Dom Luis Bridge. It was designed by a trainee of the architect that designed the Eiffel Tower. This is my first time in Porto, and I'm very excited to be here. It seems to be a really cool mix of old world charm, but also cool modernity.
Because of Porto's strategic location, the city has been a trading hub since Roman times. During the Age of Discovery, its shipyards built the vessels that set sail for Africa, Asia, and the Americas, linking this northern city to Portugal's growing global empire.
Porto has always been known as the working class heart of Portugal. There's a long, long tradition here of craftsmanship, of shipbuilding, of trade. And in recent years, the city has really changed quite a bit, largely due to the huge influx of tourism that a lot of cities in Europe have been seeing in the last few decades. But I feel like despite all the changes that have been happening, you can still feel the grit and character of the city in the architecture, in the vibe, and in the people here. A lot of Porto is built on really steep hills, and because of this rugged terrain, it gives the city a really layered vertical feeling. It's often compared to an amphitheater facing the Douro River. I really love it because you're walking in these narrow cobblestone alleys. It feels very romantic, and all of a sudden it just opens up to beautiful scenery and views like this one.
Since the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church has been woven into Porto's identity. As trade along the Douro brought in wealth, merchants and clergy poured it right back into the city, building soaring churches and streets designed for religious processions. By the 17th and 18th centuries, Porto hit its Baroque golden age. Bell towers, granite spires, and stone crosses transformed the skyline. They still rise over the city today, a reminder of an era when the church quite literally stood above everything else.
One of the best things you can do in Porto is to simply wander the streets of the historic districts and take in your surroundings. The architecture here is absolutely amazing, and it feels a lot like being in an open-air history museum. But what makes Porto a little different than other beautiful old European cities is their use of these bright tiles that you see on the front of this church. They're called azulejos in Portuguese. And they're not just on grandiose structures, they're also on everyday residential buildings. They're really funky and they add a pop of color to the city, and it really just gives Porto a really unique aesthetic that's hard to find anywhere else. We are in front of the Capela das Almas, or the Chapel of Souls. This is one of the most famous churches in Porto, known for its use of azulejos all over its facade. You can see the blue and white tiles, and these are very unique because they are telling a biblical story. Tiles were first brought to the Iberian Peninsula by the Moors when they conquered large parts of Spain and Portugal between the 8th and 13th centuries. But it wasn't until the 15th and 16th centuries that the use of them began really exploding across Portugal. Fun fact, apparently the blue and white color is not traditional to the continent. During the Age of Discovery, when Portuguese explorers began trading with China and became exposed to Chinese porcelain, they were really inspired by the blue and white used in that art and brought it back here to Portugal. So I don't know if that's true, but that's how the myth goes. This storytelling through tiles was the Catholic Church's way of communicating with the population at the time who were illiterate. And it's not limited to biblical stories. You can also find azulejos telling stories about culture and tradition, like the Portuguese tradition of sailing, for example, and folklore. So it's just a really beautiful medium of communicating with the population.
Take a walk through Porto's historic districts, and you find yourself in a different time. The buildings tell a story of the city's former wealth, though their grandeur is now softened by age. Crumbling stone, cracked tile. Yet somehow, time has made them even more beautiful. Just beneath the stone walls of a 16th century church is a Casa do Fado, an intimate little venue where Portugal's most traditional form of expression comes alive.
Fado originated in the 18th century in Portugal. It was a way for the working class at the time to express themselves about the hardships of the time. So they gathered in intimate spaces like taverns and cafes to do these performances. And the music itself has Moorish, African, and Brazilian influence, which represents Portugal's history. So the Moors conquered the Iberian Peninsula between the 8th and 13th century. And then, of course, Brazilian African influence comes from Portugal's colonial period. So it's a genre that's really innately global and represents Portugal's history. How long have you been singing Fado?
37 years.
And what is your favorite part about Fado music?
Fado music express all the feelings that we have in each song and express everything that happened with us every day.
And what are the topics that are usually covered by the Fado song?
They talk about everything. They talk about love, unlove, jealous, happiness, sadness. They talk about everything that you can imagine.
So it's very emotional.
What people usually say that Fado, it's a sad song. No. We are not just unhappy. We are not sad every day. It expresses what we feel in that time. We sing sad songs, yes, but we sing a lot of happy songs too.
And what are the instruments that generally accompany the singer?
The traditional one, it's a classical guitar and the Portuguese guitar.
My name is Miguel. I play Fado guitar for 9 years, I think, 10 years. Yeah, and I love it.
What does Fado mean to you?
I started playing Fado with my father, and Fado usually it's a very family-oriented kind of music. It's that culture that gives meaning to Fado because it's when they lost families at sea, they start to sing Fado. That's why you say Fado. It's a melancholic song, a sad song. When Fado was created, there was also like a revolution in the government, and we start to sing happy Fados, celebrating the changes. It's the most unique way of expression for the Portuguese.
We're going to take a quick pause to shout out the sponsor of this video, Nomad eSIM. If you watch our channel regularly, you know that we travel full-time, and one of our biggest headaches used to be figuring out how to get our phones working whenever we would land in a new destination. You really don't realize how much you rely on cell service until you don't have it. Luckily, Nomad eSIM has our back. They are the highest rated eSIM on the App Store, and since discovering them, we haven't looked back. It works like a traditional SIM, but without the need for a physical card. And with over 200 destinations covered, it works pretty much anywhere in the world. Now, whenever I'm planning my next trip, all I do is open up the Nomad app, find the destination that I'm going to, and pick the plan that makes the most sense for my needs. And that's it. It literally takes less than 5 minutes to get started. The price is fixed and super reasonable. And I love the peace of mind I get knowing that as soon as I land, I have 4 and 5G speeds waiting for me, so I can use my map apps, I can call taxis, and anything else I need to do. Also, I love the hotspot feature, which lets me share my data with anyone I'm traveling with so they can connect as well. So if you're traveling soon and are interested in picking up your first eSIM and saving a little money on it, you can use my code DOTS on a map for $5 off. Everyone we've met in Porto has told us that we need to get this one thing. So we've come to Cafe Santiago, and we're gonna see what all the fuss is about. Seated at the counter, my favorite, and you can see all the action that's happening over there.
Say hello to Porto's most iconic dish, an eccentric creation that locals love and have endless debates on where to find the best one. If you come to the city, you're going to hear about it.
We have received our francesinha. Francesinha means little French girl, but she's not so little. It's heavy and thick. There's a lot going on here. Several layers of ingredients. So you got your thick toast, of course, and then there is ham, bologna, sirloin steak, sausage, and then it's topped with an aggressive amount of sliced cheese. I think there might be cheese inside as well. And then it's melted, and then a runny egg is added on top. That is so good. And the special sauce on top really ties it together. And I can see myself very much enjoying a francesinha at 3 a.m. after a night of drinking. This is like the perfect drunk food. So you like the francesinha? So it's a very local thing, right?
Yeah, I eat this all my life.
How many times a week do you eat it?
Once a week or 1 and 2 weeks.
Because you look very fit for eating francesinha all the time.
Yes, I do my thing. I do some sports that allow me to drink some and beat some.
And so the francesinha was invented here in Porto, right?
And it was someone that was working in France. So it was a mix for something that he learned in France. And he wanted to give a twist here.
Okay, so hence the francesinha, little French girl.
The Hula market has the butcher specifically only that sells only pork. And that specific sausage, only that guy sells. All the most known restaurants of francesinha use the same. That's why people say that eating a francesinha in Porto is not like anywhere else. You eat the francesinha in Lisbon, it's not the same.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And also the sauce, because the secret of francesinha, of course, is the meats and stuff like that. But one of the secrets is the sauce. If the sauce is not good, it's not good francesinha. All right?
And what's in it? Is it wine?
It's a lot of alcohol.
Oh, so the sauce is like all alcohol.
Almost all alcohol. The combination changes from restaurant to restaurant, because that's the secret. Because mounting a sandwich, anyone can do it.
This place has the sauce.
Around the corner, another Porto classic. The perfect spot to conclude an evening food crawl.
We've come here for a very famous snack here in Porto called cachorrinho, and we've come to one of the most popular spots, and it's a counter situation, which I adore, of course. And we're gonna get a few.
Da loirinha, tá bom. Pinei. Pina e agora depois
All right, I'm being summoned.
My friend, Pina.
All right, I think California should be right around there. That's on a map. The cachorrinho is essentially like a hot dog. It's sausage with cheese, and then it's put in bread and then grilled. So it is pure comfort food, and they've cut them into these very convenient little bite-sized pieces. All right, chin chin. A light bite after the francesinha. It's really good, and it tastes as you would expect. You must add paprika or some other similar spice. There's like a little kick to it, and the bread is really crunchy, and the melted cheese is melted cheese. All right, watch out for your finger, my friend.
This is automatic.
Automatic.
Hey guys!
After eating a lot of greasy comfort food, what is there to do but take a leisurely stroll? Only in Porto does your walk home at night look like this.
The Douro River is an incredibly important part of Porto. It's always been an important source of food for the local community, and of course has shaped the local cuisine here. It is a highway that connects Porto to the rest of the world, which has made this city an important trading hub since Roman times. And now it continues to be a good source of income for the city because you have these tourist boats going back and forth all day, every day. And of course, the city is built around the river, so the two are really interlinked and have kind of shaped each other in a way. And it's very beautiful here. I love walking along this boardwalk and just taking in the scenery.
Most days, you'll find fishermen here testing their luck with the day's catch, a scene as familiar as the river itself.
How long have you been fishing?
Desde, sei lá, 15 anos. 15 anos, tenho 70.
He looks very young. Tell him he looks really good.
Ela falou que você não parece que você tem 70.
Tem. É diversão.
So what can you catch mainly here? What kind of fish?
Robalo.
Okay. How many times a week do you come out and fish?
Tem 15 dias ou assim.
And did you come from a family of people who fished?
Não, já é do meu tempo do meu pai, do meu avô.
So how do you cook the fish?
Qualquer coisa, ou cozido, ou assado, ou frito, tudo, dá para tudo, dá para perceber. Ou com massa, ou arroz, ou grão de bico, qualquer coisa. Dá para encher a barriga, pronto, tá bom. Não é, tá bom.
We just learned that Nando has 8 kids. How old are your kids?
8.
8. Muito. Tell him he's busy.
É pouco, ano.
Yeah.
Agora não, que dá uma boa, mas...
How old is your oldest kid and how old is your youngest?
50 anos, mais velho. 28.
Oh, do they like to fish too?
Sim, sim, sim. Sim, sim.
Oh, that's
Porque a gente pega uma ao outro. Por exemplo, o meu pai e o meu avô ensinaram-me a mim. E agora ensinei meus filhos.
oh, really nice. So it's like a familia.
Como é que eu aprendi a fumar? Aprendi a fumar por os outros. Claro.
Well, it was really nice to meet Nando. He was so nice to us, talking to us about how long he's been fishing and telling us about his kids and whatnot. So very nice people here in Porto. Let's see if he catches something now. How long will he stay out today? Like all day?
18 horas. 18 horas a 6 horas. Mais ou menos. Para ficarmos por aqui. Então, ao menos é um entretenimento. Estamos a fazer em casa.
Vai fazer o que em casa?
Olhar para o teto. Fica mais tranquilo.
Mais relaxado.
Sim, isso. Os anos.
Espero
Mas depois, ou vice-versa. Que foi primeiro, depois é que fica cá. É que leva, começa. De vez em quando vem a memória. Não é? De vez em quando vem a.
ficar em casa, né? Por isso que o senhor gosta de
Foda-se, estou a falar para quê? Para quem? Para o gato e para o cão. Acabou, não nem tenho aquela regalia que tinha.
Ela cozinhava para o senhor?
Tudo na boa,
cuidava da
tudo.
roupa, de
Tudo.
Hoje o senhor tem que fazer tudo sozinho.
Foi.
O senhor sente falta dela, não sente?
Claro, não. Sei lá, Deus é que sabe. E aí eu, como sou mais velho e aí eu, caralho, não ia ela. Está sempre na memória. Já não tenho, não tenho tanta alegria, não tenho tanta alegria.
Não tem tanta alegria, é diferente, né?
Bom,
Você é a esposa do
Não é
senhor.
pode.
Como é que era o nome dela?
Ariana, praticamente todos os dias me lembro.
A few kilometers away, the Douro hits the Atlantic Ocean. In Matosinhos, a nearby seaside town, restaurants line the streets, serving cuisine with seafood at the heart, prepared in simple but flavorful ways.
So a thing to do here in Porto is to go to a restaurant where you can choose your own seafood and then they grill it for you on the spot. So that one was our fish. He's a big boy. It's a turbot. Should be good. We got a grilled octopus, or pupo. It's a very generous tentacle, cooked on charcoal. That is so good. The food here seems to be really simple as well. It's cooked with olive oil, a little salt, some fresh herbs, and that's it. So the taste of the octopus really shines, and it gets that beautiful char from the grill. Really good, one of the best pulpos I've ever had. All right, our turbot is ready.
Oh, yeah.
Obrigada. And the moment of truth. It's a very nice white fish, very light. Again, nothing pretentious about this food. Grilled fish, very simple with a little olive oil, boiled potatoes, cabbage to accompany it, and very fresh and delicious.
Perched high in Porto's historic center, overlooking the Douro, is Virtudes, a neighborhood where the city slows down, all against a backdrop of narrow, time-worn buildings and cobblestone streets.
We've sat down to have a drink at a local bar, and it's really reminding me of botecos in Brazil, which is very similar. You have the core business, and then the seating spills outside onto the sidewalk, and the culture is to sit here with your friends and family and just drink for hours and hours. Portugal has had an outsized impact on the world because of its role as a leader in the age of discovery. So it's no surprise that connections like this exist. I'm seeing a lot of other parallels with Brazil, both culturally and aesthetically. And of course, Brazil was one of Portugal's biggest colonies, so it makes complete sense. But it always just feels different to see that connection in person and really witness firsthand how the cultures are really woven together. Cheers. When in Europe, you drink wine. I don't normally drink this much when I'm back home in the States. And one thing I've noticed here, they are very, very generous with the wine pours everywhere. So yeah, this is a serious goblet that I'm working with. It's a very warm afternoon with a nice breeze, and it is so lovely. It's really what you want when you think of summer in Europe. Oh my God! This seagull is really Brazilian because he just came here, snagged a piece of our picanha, and broke our wine glass in the meantime. Seagulls here are bold, my friend.
Across from the bars, the young and hip of Porto gather on the grass for sunset, cigarettes and beer in hand.
Hello, I'm Sven Fjell. I'm an artist, art maker here in Porto.
Okay, so Sven, you're born and raised in Porto.
No, I live here 21 years.
Okay, so practically you're a native.
Yeah.
And this is Virtudes, right? This neighborhood is called
this is
Virtudes.
Virtudes, Passeio das Virtudes. This is all this area where is the sunset in this little garden with this view to the river.
So what do you think about Porto? Because the city is very old, and I feel like there's a lot of old architecture, old traditions. You can kind of see there's a lot of very traditional people here. And yet, you know, you have places like this which feel very young and modern. How do you see like the two kind of coexisting?
Now, after the tourism attack in 2015, after Ryanair comes here, many people start to come to Porto just because it was the cheapest. In the end, they discovered it was an amazing city to enjoy. Still original culture with authenticity, not losing this authenticity because of the tourism. Now it's losing a bit more, of course, but at the same time many buildings are being restored, so the things are changing. The locals are getting more to the periphery. So
Getting pushed out.
yes, I live in the center here, but it's not easy
Right.
for most of the people. So
So-
it's like the most of the things happens in the other cities is the same, you know?
So it sounds like kind of a double-edged sword. Like it's good in the sense that the city's getting restored and it's kind of, you know,
Yes,
getting more beautiful and
I prefer now. I prefer now.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
Less dangerous also in Porto was like outlaw city. Many gangs, you know. People didn't have money. They were desperate. They were stealing. Now with the tourism, they have money. They have better lives.
do you think a lot of people agree with you about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, many people don't like, of course. But a person who appreciates a chill city with culture, in the end, we appreciate. Even many people have job because of tourism, you know.
Right.
So I think it's better, you know. I think it's nice to live in the periphery. You just catch the train, 15 minutes, it's okay.
So what do you find the most special about Portuguese culture? What's your favorite part about it?
I think Portugal is basically the most interesting is the people. And I really like the food and the wine. If you are not, you know, too ambitious and materialistic, this is the best place in terms of quality of life.
And what do you think is unique about the Portuguese way of life or the Portuguese way of seeing the world?
Portuguese were always very flexible and they were always nice in every country. Was the fame of the Portuguese outside of Portugal. They were honest, workers and humble.
This is probably the most famous tourist market in Porto with lots of different types of food. It's lunchtime, we're starved, so we're gonna see what we find here. Okay, Spanish jamón. market is really nice. It's a combination of kind of farmers market where you can get vegetables and fruits and meats and whatnot and prepared foods. It's a really good place to come if you want to try a lot of Portuguese specialties back to back. It's more dense and thick than it looks. All right, cheers. Really smooth, creamy and light. It's got like a nice little gaminess to it. It's amazing. You got so many different types of fresh seafood. You got shrimps, scallops, oysters, octopus, sea urchin, and different types of tartars. We're gonna get a few things. Obrigada. Look at how delicious that looks. I'm very excited about it. Let's try one of these guys. Really, really nice. Simple, good olive oil, some fresh herbs. You don't really need anything else.
And of course, you can't come to Portugal without trying its most famous culinary creation, pastel de nata, a small, flaky tart filled with rich egg custard, then baked until the top is caramelized.
We've come to a Manteigaria to try a pastel de nata, and it's quite cool because you can see them making it. They're flattening out the dough, filling it out with the custard, putting it in the oven. You got to see the whole process. And apparently the right way to do it is you dust it with sugar and then cinnamon as well. Oh, this one's still warm, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it's super crispy. All right, cheers. This is a beautiful thing. Oh my God. It is so crispy and delicious on the outside. Just an amazing texture. And then look at that custard. It's so creamy, sweet but not too sweet. It is a magnificent creation. We're following the legions of people heading over the Ponte Luís Bridge over the Douro River to go see the sunset. And from here you can see the entire city and just how unique the landscape is. It's gorgeous. I see the amphitheater metaphor. This is the spot to watch the sunset. It's called Jardim do Moro, and it's absolutely beautiful. I can see why it's so popular. And I really liked our stay in Porto. The city has a really unique old world charm, and it's very accessible. You can walk everywhere, and it feels like you're just stepping in another time. At the same time, it's the second largest city in Portugal, so it's very modern, and you have a lot of young people, and it has a very vibrant feeling. Despite all the tourism, it somehow remains authentic. So yeah, I recommend it. It's very nice here.
Simples, dia passei.